Congress is getting ready to leave town without passing a coronavirus stimulus bill. It's from over at CNN. Some great reporting there. And what it basically shows, Krystal, is that absent a continuing, they want to get this continuing resolution thing packed up. Beyond that, while you are going to see stuff going on in the Senate, obviously, that doesn't mean that the full Congress is actually here doing anything. So like the House and the Senate don't have to be here at the same time. And the Senate can be here conducting the business on the Supreme Court nomination. But that the realistic odds of having anything actually done with Congress actually here in town slowly dwindling away by the moment. Only 30-something days to go till Election Day. All of them want to go home and campaign. They could care less about actually doing anything for citizens. It's crazy. I mean, it really is crazy.
It is.
Yeah.
It's revolting, honestly, when you have so many people who are struggling, when you have this economic crisis that has just been rendered like completely invisible here in Washington. And there's been some new reporting about exactly what reality has been like for people who have lost their jobs during this pandemic through no fault of their own. Jeffree Stein was tweeting about some new research. So people in Wisconsin who were calling the state unemployment office 41 million times, only 0.5% of those calls were answered. Now, keep in mind, this is the system that the government pushed people onto because we didn't take the approach that a lot of other countries did of just basically backstopping the wages so that people weren't displaced for their jobs. No, this was the system that was constructed. It was, we're going to push you onto unemployment, and that way we can get you these checks. And you know what? That $600 plus up for as long as it lasted was really, really important. That, of course, has expired a while ago. President did his $300 unemployment plus up. That was very patchy in terms of whoever got it. That funding is basically running out now. Another piece in the cut, this was from Bridget Reed, who, like Jeffree Stein, who spent a lot of time on the Our Unemployment subreddit, just looking at the stories of human beings who don't have enough food to eat, who are banking on these couple of extra $100 in order to survive. She starts the piece, Erin Young hadn't eaten in 4 days. She was waiting to certify her eligibility for an extra $300 a month in unemployment benefits called lost wages assistance. Now it's September 15th. Young has stayed up all night refreshing her California employment account homepage. In the morning, she finally found the answer to the question that has shaped her life. She's finally going to get certified to maybe get this unemployment insurance. But the struggle that people are going through and the way it is completely erased in this town is just, I will never get over it. I know we cover it here relentlessly, but I will never get over the abandonment of the American people during this hour of need.
You can't let it go, right? I mean, what is it to so many 30 million Americans who are out there who are on unemployment? Congress is about to leave, so then the pandemic unemployment insurance, the executive order is about to expire, even though it was only implemented by like 9 states or something like that. So there's no additional aid coming, no even additional stimulus check. I mean, we had so many grand, ideas and things that we explored here over the last several months, different programs, ways in order to back. None of it ended up coming to fruition. Zero. I mean, they didn't even try and pass their stupid payroll tax cut idea. That didn't even happen. Nothing. Nothing has happened. I think that is the greatest indictment of this entire political process. And yeah, I mean, we cover it a lot, but people need to know. I mean, people should know about what exactly their leaders, this is their one job that they're supposed to do. Like literally, government is supposed to be there for you whenever you're down. And especially this time, no fault, nobody's fault. It's no one's fault that they're unemployed or anything. You don't even have the banks to blame in this particular case. But they're the ones who are doing fine, right? They're okay. Yeah. A lot of them are getting bailed out, and a lot of them are just fine in terms of government assistance. Average people, they're done. And, I mean, the effects of this, we didn't see in 2008 how much it would affect our society. I think this is going to be worse in so many different ways.
I agree.
And nobody just seems to understand that.
I read this newsletter called The Transcript that pulls out like highlights of the different earnings calls from CEOs and analysts. And one of the things that they were saying on there is that the stimulus that has passed has tended to benefit those who were already huge. And of course, this is, I mean, from day one, we're not geniuses here.
Yeah.
We predicted that's exactly what would happen. The big guys would have all kinds of cash, all kinds of capital, all of these hundreds of thousands of small businesses closing their door, but even medium-sized businesses. So the lending program that was supposed to be meant for sort of mid-tier companies was a complete and utter failure. So they're all distressed assets ready to get hoovered up by the big guys, consolidate wealth at the top. And by the way, the opposite of like the trickle-down idea, when you have that kind kind of concentration, it's a disaster for workers. It's an absolute disaster for workers, for towns. All the wealth gets sucked down of small towns to these few corporate behemoth type mega cities. And so that is what we're seeing happening before our eyes, this massive transfer of wealth. And frankly, look, not only do I think that Congress has been obviously utterly bankrupt here on issues that have 80-20 support, it really shows you how disconnected they are from the needs and desires of the American people. Yes, the American people, 80% say, yes, we should have more stimulus. Yes, we should have an additional round of just direct checks. Like, just do that. Yes, we should extend unemployment. But Congress can't bother to get their act together. But it's also been a real failure of the media. We've highlighted some of the best reporters here. We bring them on the show regularly to talk about what's going on and what the human toll and implications are. But largely, there's very little coverage.
Oh, they've been ignored.
Of any of this. I mean, it's like the bottom of the page, it's the end of the hour, it's pushed off to the sidelines. You just barely see much of any coverage of any of this, which is part of why the politicians feel free to ignore it too.
No, I think that's exactly it. There's nobody in the elite class who gives a damn about any of this. And you know what? I mean, this is the perfect example. They're just literally going to leave town with doing nothing for you. Okay.
There you go.
Yeah.
Tomorrow on Rising, New Hampshire political reporter Paul Steinhauser is going to give us a sneak peek at tomorrow's big presidential debate, and data journalist and the People's pundit Rich Barris is going to weigh in on recent presidential polling.
Remember to hit the subscribe button so you don't miss any of our videos. Don't forget to like and share as well, and we will see you guys tomorrow.
Have a great day, guys.